barbershop. This is the barbershop. Well, I mean, we can't talk street in the barbershop. Then where can we talk street? We can't talk street nowhere else. You know, this ain't nothing but a healthy conversation.
Greetings, evening, Athens, Georgia, classic city, internet's World Wide Web. This is Talking Random-ish. I am your master barber, Enrique King.
What? Whoa. We brand new tonight. We trying to reinvent ourselves. Hey, you may be on that ice.
It's so weird. I got papers. My paper's good.
My paper's good. I'm just never come mess with you though.
It's only so much you can do with Enrique.
Enrique, yes sir.
I'm waiting on Suave out there. Oh my goodness.
Yes sir.
Hey, you gonna be in Tier 1 next week?
Hey, T1 now. Hey, my paper's good. All my paper good, I promise you, I'm good.
Well, they'll work it out later. We're going first.
We'll figure it out.
You gotta get out of here first.
Hey, y'all know what this is. This ain't nothing but some good old-fashioned barbershop style conversation where no conversation is taboo. We have one rule and one rule only, and that rule is say what you mean what you say, just don't be mean when you say it. Y'all know where we at. We in the beautiful city, the classic city, Athens, Georgia. Right up here in MEU Radio. Thank you, Mr. Rick Dunn, for allowing us to sit here and just be. Thank you for what you do for the city of Athens. Thank you for giving back to the city of Athens. And please, and I promise y'all I'm gonna look it up tonight, give so that he can keep giving. We gotta make sure that this program can keep going on for the kids of the community, for the people of the community, and for shows like Talking Random-ish. This is a community show, and we believe in giving back. What we do is give back. And we need your help so we can continue to give back. We got my guys are in the building. I got my guy at the #1 chair, Mr. Scalper himself. What's good with you there, boy?
What's good? What's up? I'm excited about today because we brought when you put this out, like we're gonna do this today.
Yeah.
And it just took me way back.
Yes, sir.
Because I remember.
Yes, sir.
This brother.
Yes, sir.
We was stepping.
Yes, sir.
Step coach.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All that, though.
Oh, yeah.
That we forgot about. You know what I'm saying? As you grow, sometimes you tend to forget about certain things. But man, bro, this is gonna be legendary.
Yeah, this.
Cause he like for us four and probably about 10 other cats.
Yeah.
Like
he was that for us.
Yes.
He was the guy that.
That's it.
Like I said, last week was special because we had one of our mothers on the show.
Right.
Classic show. Mama, I think you got us kicked off Facebook for a day. You were so good. You were so good, Mama.
Yeah,
but
Trump came for that.
Yeah, Trump came. Hey.
Trump came for a while.
But tonight is special because the guy that we gonna mention, we gonna let him introduce himself. But he was instrumental in forming us and helped form us into young men.
Yes.
He took us at an age of 16. I think we met him about 16.
16, yeah.
He gave us a place to come, hang out. He gave us a place to go. He gave us a place to talk. Even when Mama was putting us out sometimes, he gave us a place to lay our heads. He gave us a place to bring out the girlfriend. You know.
Man, talking too much, man.
I mean,
don't tell it all. Don't tell it all. But you know what? I think at the end of the day, man, I think he cultivated like something in all of us.
Absolutely.
For what we were doing at that time.
Absolutely.
So, for me, it's so great. It's so great to give me these flowers right now.
That's what I'm saying. It's a rare opportunity. You get to sit and tell your heroes what they mean to you.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we definitely gonna put some flowers out today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, okay. Yeah. I know who these voices are. To my immediate left, we got Slim Fit the Sensitive in the building. Did you pull them socks down?
No, that was not me. That was one of my. That was one. Hey, those socks. That's an old school cat, right?
Yes, sir. I can tell.
So them the ones you don't say nothing to.
Hey, you let that man keep his tab on.
He can't warm.
He ain't the one.
He ain't the one.
He is not the one.
He was ready to go.
Yes, sir. He ready.
He ready with the
And so, and to the left of Slim Fit, we got the legend, the poet in the building. What's good with you, my brother?
Man, I'm just glad to be here and talking about the legend we got here with us tonight.
Yes, sir.
I want to say what he showed me was it was okay to be smart and still be cool.
Yes.
For sure.
It was okay
Facts.
to have degrees
That's right.
and have education.
Yes.
And it didn't make you no less cooler
Right.
than anybody else. And that was the impression on me because,
Sure.
I was hiding my book learning.
Right.
I was trying to be quiet about being in the AP classes, and I didn't want everybody to know. But when I met this cat here, I was like, hey, man, it might be all right.
Hey,
It
one of
might
the
be all
smart,
right.
one of the smartest men I have ever
one of
met
the
in life.
smartest brothers I've ever known. And
Yes,
like
sir.
I said, it's a pleasure to be able to give him his flowers while he's here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Hey, since we owned it, hey, excuse me, sir. Why are you here? Who are you, and why are you in my barbershop?
Well, first of all, I always need a haircut. I cut the gray out because grease and formula no
Yes,
longer
sir.
works.
Yes, sir.
But, I'm here because, you guys are having what? Is this your first ever Black History Month
Yes, sir.
Yes.
show?
Yes,
And
Yes.
I am Black History, I
Yes, you
guess
are.
you could
Yes,
say.
you are.
Yes, you are.
And,
You are.
So I'm Harold Wright, and I am the first African American drum major of the University of Georgia.
First of all, we need to stop and salute.
Yeah, salute.
Major.
And let me tell you what's funny about him saying that. So while we was growing up, and he may have said it, but I don't remember.
I don't remember him ever saying that.
Like I said he may have said it, but I don't remember. So now later, I remember him saying it to me. But I'm still young, dumb.
Yeah, it didn't have an impact.
No, it didn't register. So
Right.
about 3 years ago, I was working at the university, but I was working in the main library. And one morning, I walked through the main library, and I look up, and his picture is Black History Month. I never forget. His picture is up there, along with Lord, I can't remember her name.
Doesn't matter.
The first Black to go to the University of Georgia.
Okay.
But
Mary Frances.
Mary Frances.
Right along.
She was the first graduate.
The first graduate. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
But his picture was up as I'm walking through and I'm like, wow.
Our Hal, right?
I know this. I know this. This is my guy. This is my mentor.
I don't just know him.
Yes.
I
I know this guy.
Yeah.
So what I did was I walked through, then I turned around and walked through again, and I recorded and I sent it to him, and I was like, wow, because it just amazed me, because it's funny how you know somebody, but you don't really know somebody,
Right.
But you don't really get to know them till you get to know them.
Right.
And it just took me back, and I was just thinking about it, and then so this year I was like, sitting back. I was like, hell, I got a guy that's Black History. And I called him. I said, hell, please let the world know who you are. Because we've been trying to get him to come back, to go to the University of Georgia and do something, but some always have, so he hadn't made it. So it's a honor, it's a pleasure, it's hell.
Hey, Rick, the crazy part about it, like, he already knew that. Like when he was the first black drum major at University of Georgia, he knew that. But when he was coaching and motivating us and building us, that was never like anything we ever talked about.
No.
So it was like to find out at a certain point in time, it's kind of crazy, you know.
Yeah. Like I know that guy.
That was never like a conversation. Like I'm the first black dude. No, he was so busy trying to like get us right. You know what I'm saying?
Mold your men.
Mold us into whatever. No, but yeah.
I mean, give us a place to go, to give us some understanding, to give us some wisdom, and like Larry said, to let us know it's okay to be smart and to be cool at the same time. Because
I'm gonna get you banned the same
damn time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because if you because if you know him, you know he's one of the coolest. I mean, you gonna kick it. You gonna have a great time. And you ain't got to do much talking because he can carry all the conversation.
Every bit of it.
All the conversation. Yes, sir. Sure. And like I say, so Hal, I mean, thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you because, like I say, when I went back and looked over the shows that I've done, I realized I have never done a Black History show. But I've never done one because we are Black history. We are American history. We are world history. So I think every day we make history. So I never felt like it was needed to do a show about Black history in this particular month because every show we do is Black history. But this is special because it's you. It was a guy that helped me along the way and it continues to help me along the way. A guy that I can call at any time. And Harold Wright, how did you become the first black drum major at the University of Georgia?
Well, first of all, let me give homage to another Black history icon. That would be Dr. William P. Foster, Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University of the FAMU Marching 100.
Yes, sir.
Now, what people have not given him his due honor is the fact that he's really the father of the modern marching band.
Okay.
Because marching bands were typically, units of maybe about 36, 48 people, like you would see an army regiment with instruments marching down the street in strict military style.
North Korea type style.
Right, exactly. And Dr. Foster said, no, we can do something a little bit different. He had about 100 kids out there on the field down there in Tallahassee on that plantation where they built the school. All right? And one day they were kind of fooling around and he was like, oh, well, we can do this, we can do that. So a lot of things that you see on TV, that's Dr. Foster. Yes, sir. So there is no me without Dr. Foster.
Right.
Okay.
Now let me tell you about my relationship with Dr. Foster. Dr. Foster didn't want me to be his drum major.
What'd you do?
I was a hellified musician. I could play the hell out of the French horn. I could play the hell out of the trumpet. And my principal instrument, of course, is the piano. But, that's not a marching instrument. But, I sent an audition tape down to Dr. Foster. And he said, son, but I said, I want to play in your band, but I want to be your drum major. And so he said, how tall are you? I said, 5'10".
Oh, no.
He said, oh, that's exactly what he said. He said, oh, no. He said, I might take you at 6 feet, but we prefer that you're at least 6'2" or better.
Yes. Hold on, Hal.
Or 6'6" or 6'7".
Hold on. Help us out now. We know we do this with sports, right? Football, basketball, baseball, whatever. They do this with band?
Oh, with the drum major?
With the drum major?
Oh, yes, sir. I went to FAMU.
Okay.
Those are some of the most athletic people
Thank you.
on the yard.
Thank
The
you.
drum majors.
Thank you.
Your drum majors will run athletic circles
Talk about
around
the football
Around
team.
the football. Matter of fact, my freshman year, I sat on the steps of the dorm and watched 5 band members chase
Wow.
the football team off the field.
What?
The band, I've seen the band walk the football team off the field.
Wow.
At the HBCU, the band don't play.
Wow.
And it when he said he was 5'10", I knew immediately. What the problem was. Now, in 2025, you might be able to be their drum major.
Exactly.
But back then, no sir.
Oh, no, sir.
No sir.
Yeah,
No,
band,
sir.
they got band combine.
Yes, sir. The band actually showed up while when the football team came in for summer and did their training. The band did the same thing.
Yep.
The band did the same thing. So yeah, the band worked. They had their summer camp, just like it was football training.
Look, we are, I guess, artistic athletes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because when I was drum major, you know, what people don't know is that I used to run 5 to 6 miles a day, maybe 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
You know, I used to just run because my wind was incredible because I could not afford to get tired during a show.
Right. Right.
And you know, so that's just one of the and that goes. It doesn't matter whether you're in an HBCU or whether you're at a PWI. The band is the band, and we are always in shape. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
Now let me continue on this journey now.
Okay.
Dr. Foster happened to be good friends with Roger Dance, who was the director of bands for the University of Georgia. I never knew that they were good friends, and they were pioneers in creating marching bands, and they kind of fed off of one another.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but let's move away from that. FAMU was already out of the picture.
Right.
So let's go on to another iconic figure in marching band history, my cousin, Dr. Willie Sullivan. Now, Dr. Willie Sullivan, at the same time that I was at the University of Georgia, was the first black band director of the best damn band in the land, Ohio State University. Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine that. So, you know, they always say you have to know somebody. It ain't what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
So my cousin was at Ohio State. So I said, well, I can't go to FAM, so I'll just go to Ohio State.
Yes, sir.
So I called up cousin and I said, look, this is Laverne's son, Harold. He said, Bobo. My nickname is Bobo. He said, Bobo.
Hey, Rick. This is Laverne, baby.
Yes, sir. Laverne, baby.
This is Laverne, baby.
And so he let me know immediately that he knew who he was. He said, Bobo, I know who you are, son. He said, let me ask you a couple questions. He said, I know you're a good musician because, you know, people in the family talk about you. Can you twirl a baton? I said, well, a little bit. All right. He said, can you flip on the drop of a hat? I said, sometimes. And he said, Big Ten bands ain't for you. He said, you're going to have to find somewhere else to go because you got to be able to twirl, flip, and dip.
Oh, wow.
At the Big Ten schools because that's what's required. It's not a height requirement. It's just
Athletic requirement.
It's an athletic requirement, and you have to be able to twirl the baton because that's a Big Ten requirement. So, bam, here goes. I'm knocked out of the field again, and so Georgia won a national championship. And I said, well, they'll be on TV, so let me try there. So I auditioned at Georgia and Mr. Dance at my audition.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Take your time. Take your time.
Big time, bro.
Maybe this was prophetic. He said, others have turned you down, and I've accepted you.
Wow. Bro.
And you don't know it yet, but you're going to be great here.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
He didn't say how. And, so I said, okay, yeah, I'm going to come here and we'll see what happens. And, I auditioned, and I had one of the highest audition scores ever in the history of the Redcoat band. And we use an audition that is maybe 40, 50 years old. If not, well, no, it's more than that, because hell, I was drum major 40, but then 40 plus years ago. So but I'm only 40, 45. So.
Yes, sir. Funny how that works.
Funny how that works. That bad
Benjamin Button over there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, he already going down the down cycle at me. Getting younger.
Oh man.
So when you got to Georgia, what was the demographics? And when you auditioned for the band, what were the demographics of white student to black student when you walked on campus?
We not like them, they not like us. Not many of us.
Yes.
So probably similar to them, right?
Huh?
Probably similar to them.
Yeah.
Are we talking about 81?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
81.
right.
81, fewer than 1,000 blacks out of 30,000 students.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was we were on the quarter system then. We had moved on to the semester system. So after spring break, maybe less than 500 of us left. Yeah, because sometimes the staying power isn't there.
Right.
Not because of talent, but because of focus.
Right.
And I'll leave that there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think we all understand lack of focus and what it does in academia.
Yes,
Right.
sir. What dorm were you in?
I was in Russell Hall.
Okay.
I was in Russell Hall.
That regular thing still stands.
Well, it was modern then.
Yeah.
It was modern then, and it was known as the zoo. Yeah, so I lived in the zoo, but we had a good time. We had a great time. I met really good people, and it's a matter of fact, one of those people I met, a guy by the name of Bubba Carroll. He eventually retired from the military as a major, Robert Carroll. Then he became Bob, just like y'all knew me as Hal.
Yeah.
And it's, depending on your professional situation, you present the name that's going to roll off the tongue and be relatable to the people that you're around. Right. And sometimes that helps you to ascend the ladder.
Yeah, right.
So I'm back to being Harold now because I am who I am. Right. So I'm no longer Hal anymore. But people are like, oh, it's Hal. No, it's Harold. It's Harold. But back then I couldn't be Harold because there was the Jell-O pudding commercial with old weird Harold, and I spent my career in sales, so nobody would want to buy anything from old weird Harold. So I became Hal.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's very cool. But Harold, so when you walked into that audition, and if I know you, like I think I knew you, like I'm pretty sure it's trepidation. So how did you feel really walking to that audition? To when you trying to be the drum major, right? Like
when I walked into that audition, guess what number I drew?
13.
One.
Hell no. I drew number one.
Okay.
Because
So you
I
said
am
right.
the one.
Okay.
And there is no one but me.
Okay.
Right.
So anybody else in that room, and there were 30-something people auditioning that day.
Right.
And I said, oh well, I don't know about y'all, but it's gonna be hell to pay to follow me.
Yes, sir.
But you know what's funny is that confidence that he's talking about right there.
Right.
That's everything he tried to instill in us.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's everything.
Wow.
That's everything.
Absolutely.
That's everything he tried to instill in us from the step practices to academia to just being in life.
Yeah.
That's everything that you instill. You didn't try. You have instilled in us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So after that, after you went in at number one and showed them that you were number one, how long before they told you that you were selected, and then what was the next process?
Well, typically, we would have known. The process was, you stepped before the committee and you auditioned, and then that following week, you were introduced to the band, and you did the band practice for the G-Day game, the Georgia Day game, the spring game. And after the spring game, the band would march out of the stadium and retire to the band room for an election. And, much like the House of Commons in England or Parliament. And the band would either ratify your selection or say, nope, you're out of here. You're fired. Next. But in my case, it was, wow, how can I put this? It was a tumultuous time.
Yeah.
No one had ever seen someone like me.
Right.
And I'm trying to, nobody had seen someone with such a good tan.
Right.
Okay. To do as well as I did, because I exceeded expectation. And in life, that's everything that I've always lived by. I'm going to exceed your expectation, no matter what it is.
Right.
And so, there was some trepidation on the membership. They were like, "Oh, wow, how do we deal with this? We've never dealt with someone like him, and how is this going to affect the band going forward? How is this going to affect recruitment? How is this going to affect a lot of things?"
Right.
Well, I'll just put it to you this way: after my selection, now I have an old uniform here. I have my very first uniform here, and that uniform was maybe 30 years older than me. And as I look at it across the room now, the white is no longer white; it's yellowed.
Yeah.
And so it's really crazy. But after my first year as drum major,
Wow.
all of the funding issues that we had for purchasing new uniforms, purchasing instruments, just anything that we needed from a financial perspective, anything that we needed, those challenges were no longer there. Now, I'm not going to say I helped raise the money, but somehow the money showed up from somewhere, and we got new uniforms, we got new instruments, you name it, it was new, and we got it.
Right, right.
Then all of a sudden, everybody was in love with me. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Hey,
But back then, they didn't want me.
Right.
Now I'm hot.
Right.
They all on me.
Yeah,
Now I'm going to leave it at that. Mike Jones.
Hey, the crazy part about this uniform, just looking at it, right? It does, to me, I look at this uniform, I don't see George at all. You know what I see? Confederate soldiers marching, wearing that uniform right there to me. So once I'm looking at it, like I don't see UGA in that uniform.
Well, in all actuality, what you see is a form of the British Red Regiment, the people that we defeated,
right.
Hence the RedCoats. You
Red
see
coat.
the little, what is it, the ornamentation there on the sleeve, that's authentic red coat ornamentation from the uniforms from the, from the bicentennial, whatever, American history when we defeated the British.
Right.
So that's what that was. Now there are some SEC schools where you do see Confederate homage, but this is British.
Now, I know. Now what was it like when you first joined the band? I mean, when you just in the section playing. What were those days like? And during those days, what gave you the confidence to say, I can be the drum major?
Oh, I knew it was going to be the drum major.
Oh, okay.
I had a plan.
Okay.
You know, it was called, party over here, party over there. Let me just hang out with you guys and let's eat in the dining hall sometime. So, it was just, I had to let people know that I was a good guy.
Yeah.
And so everybody was cool with me. Like you said, it's cool to be smart.
Yes, sir.
All right? So it was just cool to be me. Well, that is until until I became a finalist. And then there was, oh my gosh, where'd this guy come from? He snuck up on us.
Right.
No, I didn't sneak up on you. I just let you know who I was and that I was a good character and a guy that you'd want to hang out with. So at the end of the day, those that wanted me. Those that didn't. And many of those that did, sometimes we have the same thing in our elections in our community where we don't vote. A lot of those people didn't vote.
Oh, okay.
They didn't vote at all. So had they voted, there was enough votes to keep me out of there. But what God has for you,
Yes, sir. It's all yours.
it's all yours.
Yes, sir.
Right. Cause I think they felt like it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
No.
So no. I'm talking about as far as you as a drum major, right?
Mhm.
So if you talking about votes, if you had to have certain votes to actually get that particular position, right?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like the election this year or previous years, like people just sit home, like ain't no way they're gonna put an
He'll be
African American as the head drum major. So we ain't gotta even go out and vote, and we gotta do nothing because it's gonna be status quo.
Mm-hmm. Well, and no, they knew they had to vote, but it was a protest no vote.
Okay.
If we don't vote, what they gonna do?
Right.
They're gonna have to run this thing again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, oh well.
Oh, well.
Oh well. You're a mistake.
Right.
But and that caused some concern.
Right.
But the whole time I was there, we got more TV exposure. They had never had a halftime show that was fully televised
They never had a drum major
until I stepped onto
Right.
the field.
Right.
Never did we ever have a show fully televised. They would break away to commercial, and there's the Georgia band. Isn't that a nice formation?
Yeah.
And coming back in, and there's the Georgia band again while we're going into commentary. But they would get the commentary out of the way, and they said, "Now we're going to enjoy the show."
Right.
And my whole thing, my motivation thing to everybody in the band was, I'd walk past every section or everybody that I could get in their ear, and I'd say, "It's showtime! It's showtime!
Showtime.
Showtime!"
Showtime.
And so everybody's on the field, it's showtime,
Yeah.
showtime, so everybody was just hyped.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
it's showtime.
It's showtime.
It's go time.
Let's get it.
And don't you know it?
Yes, sir.
So that's so I just had I had to grow on a lot of people. And we never had enough African Americans in the band. At least my first year. When I was just a rank and file member. There were fewer than 20 of us in the band out of 400 people.
Mm.
All right. So that's less than 5%.
Mm-hmm.
All right. a Greyhound bus, a charter bus holds 47 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, by the time we got to my second year as drum major, we had the highest number of African Americans recruited and in the band ever.
Wow.
Okay.
We had enough people there to fill a bus and a half.
All right.
Okay.
You know, whereas we didn't even have enough people to fill a half a bus.
I don't have no people fill a car.
So, you know, and that's a good one, yeah, a clown car at that. But we were able, I mean, the recruitment went up, the money was coming, man. Those were good days. Those were really good days. And, you know, everybody loved me. Everybody loves Raymond, right?
Yes, sir.
So everybody loved me too.
For sure.
For sure.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and we gonna come back because I got a few more questions because I want to know what it was like when you call mama now, and that first show. What was that like? So we gonna take a break. We gonna come on back, and we gonna get more into the University of Georgia's first black drum major, Mr. Harold Wright, my mentor. So in a few minutes, y'all, come on back and let's finish this story up. We will be right. Black.
Hey, Rick, I went to the plan that